Hey everybody, I'm Ellie Mae, joined with Shannon in 3, 2, 1. Here she is. And today's question is, do you care that Trump lied about paying off Stormy Daniels? This is a very stormy question. I don't know if that was a pun. Yeah, that's really terrible. I'm so sorry. I apologize for that. Anyway, so that is our question, and be sure to comment as we are broadcasting, because we will throw your comments up on the screen. We will discuss your comments with you guys, and it'll be super fun. People are already commenting, so I just want to give a little background. Obviously, there's this alleged affair. Of course, I want to say alleged just because, obviously I think it happened, but and that was happening while he is married to Melania, but obviously it's over now. And a lot has transpired. Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 in exchange for her silence back in 2016 before the election. Eventually, Stormy Daniels got on 60 Minutes. She was talking about how she was told to keep quiet before the payment even happened. And then in April, of course, federal agents raided Michael Cohen's office, and now he's facing an investigation in New York. And now Rudy Giuliani, who also works for Trump now, he said that Trump reimbursed Cohen. And in the midst of all this, Trump denied that he even knew about the payment. So that's a little interesting. Obviously, there is the possibility that Rudy Giuliani said that Trump essentially had Michael Cohen there to take care of things like this. He didn't necessarily know what it was about, but that he paid him to pay her or whatever, but he didn't need to know exactly what it was about. That is a possibility. Or there's the possibility that he did know, gave it to him. And then, of course, on Twitter, I think, was it today? Today he acknowledged that he paid him, and we have those tweets I will show in a minute. But Shannon, what do you think about all this? Should we show some comments maybe first, or?
Yeah, let's see what people are saying. We have a lot of folks coming in. This is a hot topic.
Yeah.
Stormy Daniels.
So a lot of people are saying no, no, with a lot of exclamation points. Okay, more no's. Before he was president, no. Added to a long list. Yeah. He's a lying cheat, and morals matter when you run for the highest office in the world. Yes, I care. He lies about everything. If his lips are moving, then he's lying, says Annie. Let's see. Sorry, I have to censor these because a lot of you guys are really passionate about this, which brings out the cuss words. I care that he lies about so many things. No character. So Shannon, what do you think about this?
I just continue to be endlessly amused by the Stormy Daniels thing, just because it's so, I don't know, it's kind of funny to me. I don't care if he slept with a porn star. I mean, there's no sexual harassment alleged. Yeah. I wouldn't want my husband to cheat on me, but who knows what arrangement they have, and it's not a crime to have an affair. I do think it is shady and sort of classic Trump to have lied about it, though. Yeah. Honestly, and the thing, everyone in our platform who is a Trump supporter, whenever we talk about Stormy Daniels or any of his affairs, or even sexual assault allegations, even the grab woman by the pussy comment, everyone's like, I don't care. I just care about Trump. I just care about his policies. So I don't understand why he's even bothered to lie about it. Just come out and say, I had an affair with a porn star. Before the election, I paid her off. I mean, this is the thing. Obviously, the question here is, was it an improper use or even illegal use of campaign funds to pay off this woman for the campaign? And okay, that would be bad. If that was the case, then he should get in trouble for that. And he and Michael Cohen. He is, of course, claiming that that was not the case. So I guess we'll see. I mean, that's one for the world side.
I have the tweets here. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so it's the first tweet. I might need. Okay. Mr. Cohen, an attorney, received a monthly retainer not from the campaign and having nothing to do with the campaign, from which he entered into through reimbursement a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA. These agreements are, one second, very common among celebrities and people of wealth. In this case, it is in full force and effect and will be used in arbitration for damages against Miss Clifford, which is Stormy it says in parentheses, Daniels. The agreement was used to stop the false and extortionist accusations made by her about an affair. So is he still denying it? Wow. Despite already having a signed detailed letter admitting that there was no affair. Prior to its violation by Ms. Clifford and her attorney, this was a private agreement. Money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction. Sorry, I was so close. I had to read it. It's really small for me. So those tweets are obviously denying that there was any campaign funds used to pay her off, which I believe. Obviously, Trump has more than enough money. He doesn't need to use campaign funds. Let's hope it is true, though. And he's not even taking a salary. So, I mean, that part's believable. But still denying the affair isn't exactly that believable. But
tweets is like they were so obviously crafted. I mean, he might not even have had a hand in them. Like Trump Twitter, when he's just tweeting from the hip, he is just a lot more colloquial. You like capitalizes every other word. Yeah. Those were obviously written by a lawyer or by one of his advisors.
I was gonna say that too, because we were talking about yesterday how it's better for him to like acknowledge the Mueller stuff through written form. And I was just realizing that as I was reading it, I'm like, this is kind of Shannon's advice on this case, that you're going to address things properly with some help, and you're going to take some legal counsel and not just capitalize and do exclamation points every other sentence.
Right. And he did it so carefully come out, which, I mean, look, if it didn't violate any campaign laws, there's nothing really illegal here. And what Trump says in his tweets, he's like, you know, this is very common for celebrities, blah, blah. Unfortunately, I think that is the case. But I just don't understand why he lied about it. To me, that is something that rankles. I could literally not care less. And in fact, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm super sex positive. I don't care that she's a porn star. That does not in any way reflect on, you know, my censure for his affair or anything like that. And he had an affair. Like, okay, many people have had affairs. Like, that is not something that really affects my opinion of Trump, nor do I think that's news to anyone. Like, even hardcore Trump supporters, he obviously, like, his moral character is probably not why people are voting for him. But the fact that he lied about it, I mean, that is shady. I just think that's flat out shady. I don't understand why he would need to lie about it. And that's assuming that no criminal act occurred here, which I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that if nothing criminal occurred with the misuse of campaign funds, why lie about it? That just is shady. I don't understand. I mean, what do you think?
Well, and so that does bother me a lot. But again, there is the possibility that he didn't know what he was giving that sum of money to Michael Cohen for. There is that possibility, but I mean, it is just kind of weird. Anyway, when people lie about these small things, I have a huge problem with it. So one of my main issues with Hillary, for instance, was lying about being under sniper fire while running to an airplane. And that just, I was like, why would you lie about, like, there's cameras around. Why would you lie about that? So in the same sense, it's that's how this sort of feels. It's just like, again, you're saying he has support no matter what. He has support for being Trump, and almost these sorts of not very good things make him more relatable to a lot of people, which I don't like that part of this whole thing, but it's just the truth. And so I think maybe he took advice from someone to, you know, tell him, you have to deny this. You know, you have Christian conservatives who are going to be voting for you. It cannot come out before this, on top of the statements made in the bus. You're going to get sunk if she says something, especially because it was maybe during like when Melania was pregnant and just everything like that. And so I think, you know, that's not good. So yeah, I don't like that he lied about it at all. I cannot keep up with these comments though, guys.
Guys,
Jeez. Yeah.
we had a few people talking about Bill Clinton, and I think both fans and pro and con Bill Clinton.
The blue dress.
The blue dress. I have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, I think that's this. You can definitely draw a line, a parallel between those, and I think it really bothers me. I mean, Trump, I would say more than Bill Clinton, although I was like 10 when Bill Clinton was in office, so you can refresh my memory if you more of an expert. But Trump lies a lot. He lies about a lot of things. He does have a complicated relationship to the truth, which I think is a generous way of saying it. He will say things that because he wants to say them, he wants things to be a certain way. And that is something that bothers me about Trump, is that he does tell falsehoods with some frequency.
Just and like I think these exaggerations and yeah,
and I think that I understand politics is about the spin. Certainly, Trump, his whole business, like being a celebrity and having The Apprentice, is all about spinning and your brand and all of that kind of thing. But I think he says things, and some of them can be hurtful when he says things that are untrue. In this particular instance, you know, unless he improperly used campaign funds, that's different. Then he should be punished for that.
Yeah.
If he had an affair with this woman, which I think most people pretty much believe he did, if they had this affair, he was cheating on his pregnant wife. Look, that's a bad look. But do I think that impacts his ability to do his job as president? I mean, same with the Bill Clinton thing. You know, Bill Clinton got a blowjob from an intern. Yeah, that's a lapse of moral character or moral judgment. But do I think that he should not be president for that? You know, it's hard to draw that line. I think people's sex lives is different than what you're doing to defend our country, to bring jobs back. So to me, the actual Stormy Daniels affair is just like sort of this kind of hilarious thing, and also a little bit shocking in some respects that we have a president who just like sleeps with all these porn stars. And like, you know, I think there's a Playboy playmate who also is rumored to have had an affair, Karen something, McDougal maybe. So yeah, the Stormy Daniels affair thing, I mean, it's not a great look. I think it's like kind of funny more than really anything, just because it's like so salacious. It's like a reality TV show. It really is like Real Housewives of the White House, I guess. But yeah, the lying thing, that bothers me way more than the Stormy Daniels thing. But this is also a smaller issue compared to other things that I think he told falsehoods about.
Yeah, and I think this did bring the conversation to conservatives to kind of work out where they stand on personal life versus governing life. Because with Bill Clinton, I know for certain a lot of conservatives felt that interfered with his governing, or just as a person. I don't know. But so I definitely think this kind of has forced conservatives to work some of that stuff out and where they stand on that. I mean, we are all individuals, so we can't say everybody's the same and that nobody changes or anything like that. But the principle remains that there's, you know, bad stuff that has happened, you know, outside of you're cheating on your wife or whatever. And it's just interesting that has bled over into conservatives perhaps defending that. And so I find that interesting. I mean, again, I think everyone can be looked at differently, but yeah, it's been, I think, tough for some conservatives, and then some it hasn't, because they didn't care when it was Bill and they don't care now. And you know, not every conservative like cares about that stuff, obviously. And yeah, there was someone who said that I don't know if he was talking to us on our comments, but we should be thrown in jail for lying about the president. Immediately thrown in jail. That's not how it works. But we're not like lying, we're discussing.
Yeah, we had a few people I've seen in the comments are saying he had this affair before he was elected president, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit before. In fact, I think when we talked about James Comey, who came out and said Trump is morally unfit to be president, I think that's an interesting question to ask. And you mentioned people who, you know, it typically has been sort of the conservative standpoint is to be, you know, pro-family, you know, very like religious and adhere to the standard of more religious code of ethics, which Trump obviously does not keep to. So it is a question of how people can reconcile that. I mean, everyone I know who's liberal just thinks the Stormy Daniels thing is like the most hilarious. Like, yeah, they're just like, this is excellent. Like, we love it, and seeing Trump sweat the details. And I think Stormy Daniels is, I mean, she's a feminist. Like, she is, I don't know, she's very like pro-woman. And I think it's just like the porn star versus the president. I mean, really, you could not make it up. Yeah. And it is, obviously there are other important things going on in the world. And you could make an argument that we shouldn't be talking about this and wasting so much space talking about the porn star or the president. I do think this incident does have, like we were talking about, it's a microcosm for some of his larger just platforms and issues, I think. And so the way he's dealing with this is, to me, similar to how he deals with other more weighty things, in the sense that he constructs his own narrative, does not feel necessarily beholden to the truth, and has no compunction about lying, which I think is an issue. I mean, as you pointed out, possibly he did not know about this payment. But I mean,
yeah. So Rudy Giuliani, in quotes, said he didn't know about the specifics of it, as far as I know, but he did know about the general arrangement that Michael would take care of things like this.
Yeah, how many of these are there? Like, have a fixer for. Yeah, it's funny. It also, just as a side note, like, if you watch that clip, I didn't see the clip, but I read the transcript on the Sean Hannity show when Giuliani said it. And Sean Hannity was like, so like, couldn't handle it. He was like, what? And he just like kind of glossed over. And then he went back and he was like, okay, you said that Trump knew, but did you actually mean that? Did you actually mean this other thing? And Giuliani was like, no, I stand by what I said. Like, yeah. With the president, but it was like just interesting. I mean, Hannity obviously is super pro-Trump, and so he was like giving him 5 weeks from Sunday to like walk back and hew to the party line, and Giuliani was like, no, this is the new party line. Should we listen to some voicemails?
Yeah, and while you're doing that, we took some polls. Should Trump face repercussions from the Stormy Daniels payoff? Most of you guys said no in that poll, and this is on our Soapbox app. So if you want to download that, and take our great polls. They're amazing. And then another poll was, does the Stormy Daniels story change your opinion of Trump? And the overwhelming majority said no. Overwhelming majority said no. And then finally, I think we had another one, but these are the only ones I have. Is Stormy Daniels a threat to Trump? And that was almost 50-50. People are like, yeah, maybe she is.
Do you think she is? I mean, do you think this is going to impact voting for Trump?
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that about 50% of our audience felt like it actually was a threat to Trump.
Yeah. There's no way. This is like, no, I don't think so at all.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's getting so much, airwave space and news space, and people who voted for Trump like actually don't care. Okay, my computer literally like started updating in the middle of this, so I cannot play the voice. That's fine. Can you play them from your side, or I'm trying to log?
I can. Yeah, I'll just log on to my phone. Because of my headphones being in, it's hard. So, guys who are commenting yes and no, you guys should elaborate, and we'll show them.
Yeah, tell us what you think. Let's see. Haizan says Dems will impeach him. Yeah, I mean it's a question. Hold water under the bridge before Trump got into politics. A lot of people are saying that they don't care about that. I mean, my response to that is I think he is the same person he was, 15 years ago. And I think the way he acted here is exactly the same as how he's acted in many current situations as president. Mm-hmm. It says, I think the Democrats are all atheists.
Where's that? Oh my gosh.
Marvin Washburn. Well, I'm a Democrat and I am not an atheist. So at least
yeah, we went to church together too. That was fun.
Yeah, we went to church. For 15 minutes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely Stormy Daniels and anyone who's accusing Trump of, there are multiple women accusing him of affairs, like that's a big boost to your brand. But I don't see why people are even using that as a pejorative. Like, Trump will do anything to promote his brand. Like, So I feel like she's sort of a match made. In fact, I read this editorial that was saying Stormy Daniels is like the perfect match for Trump because they both care so much about their personal brand
Wow,
and
yeah.
care like what everyone else thinks, and they're just out to get as much as they can. That's interesting.
Sorry, I'm trying to log in quick.
Sorry, it's on me for if we can't get to them, that's fine. We can do comments. Ella says, "What has he done that made him a criminal? Had sex with a pro? If you had his money, same thing."
Oh my.
I mean, I think that's a question because I think there are a lot of people who voted for Trump who would never who going to a prostitute and cheating on their pregnant wife is something that they completely abhor or claim to abhor and look on. And so I think, as you pointed out, Ellie, that is a question of how you can reconcile those beliefs with supporting Trump.
Yes. Okay, I'm having trouble. So we're just going to do that.
March have no phone stuff today, but we can do comments because we have so many of them. We have over 300 comments. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Debbie says, there's so much more important things to worry about instead of a hooker from 12 years ago. He's doing what we hired him to do. I'm sure most of them had hookers in their past.
Oh my gosh.
That's like, what a sad statement on our political establishment that you just think all of them are out there like, whoring around their spouses. I mean, you might be right. Hello, like Anthony Weiner.
Oh my gosh.
Half of Congress who got pinched by the Me Too thing, and turns out they had secret like sexual harassment scandals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that is just so bad. Okay.
I think an interesting thing that I will point out about that is I do think we have I do think we sometimes have this false. I don't like politicians are supposed to be so above reproach, or they project this sort of morality, like I am, I am better than you and I do everything right and I know what I'm doing. Like, I mean, I know we disagree about abortion, but politicians who have come out and said, and under no circumstances should a woman be allowed to have an abortion, we need to outlaw it, etc. And then they're on the side having their mistresses, encouraging them to go get abortions. I think that's so hypocritical, and I think that hypocrisy is at the root of a lot of what's wrong with Congress. People are projecting this.
And that's where it sort of bleeds in, where it's like your personal life does influence, how you do certain things, especially when you're governing sort of on those topics. I think it does it can affect. But yeah, that's just, the hypocrisy is really alarming. And I think there's so much blackmail that goes on in DC, and you know what? If you don't want to be blackmailed, if you don't want to be controlled, then don't do crap that will get you blackmailed. Okay, it's not that hard. That's just my conspiracy side, where it's like, well, I mean, blackmail happens, whether it's a conspiracy or not. It does happen, and it's just like, don't be a hypocrite running around doing those things, and you won't be controlled so much. But
I think it's the hypocrisy, really. Like,
that
is what bugs me. So for, Stormy Daniels, I don't think Trump has ever come out and said, you shouldn't cheat on your wife.
Right.
He basically said, look, I sleep around with my wife. He's kind of acknowledged that.
Yeah.
But
that's
then
a good point.
So that bothers me. Like something like, for example, him, he's pretty anti-immigration and certainly spoken out against illegal immigrants living in the United States. And then if it turned out, for example, like one of his properties was hiring people who were undocumented, like that would be a huge issue.
Yeah.
In this particular, the Stormy Daniels issue, he's trying to go after her for like, she signed this thing, she's lying about the affair, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you lied about the payment. So I do think when hypocrisy comes in, that is the thing that bugs me, is the hypocrisy.
That's totally, I think, yeah. Amy said, did Trump have his mistress have an abortion? No, not, that's, just
fake news, yeah.
No. And someone said, why are you calling Trump a politician? He's a businessman. His business is making America great again. That's interesting, Daryl.
Yeah. Cool. Daryl Fortune, what an apt last name for.
That is cool.
Yeah, so you guys had a lot to say about this. This is a really hot topic. So call in and keep letting us know. Share this video with your friends, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, guys. Nope. I think that's about it, but it's fun, talking to you guys. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.